The final scene in our Woman versus the Dragon drama presents a scene of escalating conflict that results from the two previous scenes, where the woman flees into the wilderness after giving birth to the messianic child, and where the dragon that threatened her is thrown from the heavens. The dragon now pursues her into the wilderness, reminiscent of Pharaoh's mighty armies chasing Moses and the people of Israel as they fled Egypt and were driven into the wilderness. An eagle swoops down and bears the woman up, reminding us of Psalm 91, a psalm which the Satan quotes for Jesus as he tempts him in the wilderness. It is also a psalm that is much beloved in song form in that wonderful hymn, On Eagle's Wings. Like the Israelites, for whom the wilderness was an image of transition between their life of deliverance at the Red Sea, the Yam Suf, and their entry into the Promised Land. So too for John and the early Christian writers, the image of wilderness speaks of that time of waiting between the victory that we witness in Jesus' death and resurrection and his coming again in glory. It is an ambivalent time, a time of hope, and yet a time of trial and temptation. In our scene, the dragon spews a river from his mouth in the midst of the desert. Water in the desert is usually a good sign, a sign of hope. But in this case, it's a portent of destruction, an evil force. The earth, however, saves the woman by swallowing up the water, just as Pharaoh and his mighty army were swallowed up by the Yam Suf in the Exodus story. At the end of the scene, the woman remains in the desert, in the wilderness. Perhaps it signals that there is more to come to this story. It's not done. The conflict will continue. Stay tuned. So what were the words, the phrases, the images? What did you hear? What did you see? What did you imagine? What I'd like you to do is to read Psalm 91, or if you can lay your hands on it, listen to a version of On Eagle's Wings. Spend some time meditating on those words as well as what we read today. And then ponder this question. How does your life feel like a wilderness wandering today? Where are the threats? Where are the promises? Where's the hope? Spend some time with that question. Ponder it, journal it, share it with friends. And we'll see you the next time. Thank you for joining me.